What do all of these have in common with the PlayStation 5? Well, until recently, there was only a small handful of ways to actually use any of these controllers with your PlayStation 5, but that is all about to change, and we're gonna cover that in this video. Hello and welcome back to Gears and Tech. Long-term subscribers to this channel already know that we've covered a new product that is about to come out on the market that will allow you the best way to connect all of these and more to your PlayStation 5. And we have some very exciting news. Yes, our pre-release of the Besavior U5 PlayStation 5 dongle has come. It's arrived, it's here. We're gonna unbox them and we're gonna test them out on the PlayStation 5, give it a run for its money and do some preliminary testing. But before we do that, we have to talk about what we did to get here. And some of you are gonna maybe wanna fast forward, and that's okay if you wanna do that, but let's take a quick trip down memory lane. It all started with this, which is a B-Loader dongle. Now the B-Loader dongle plugged into your PlayStation 5 and it enabled you to use remote play on your PlayStation 5 wirelessly to connect any of these kinds of controllers to your system. The downside was it used a wireless connection, which was unstable. And for those of you who did not have your PlayStation close to your router, you were noticing stuttering and a little bit of lag. So the B-Loader team released this, which is the B-Loader Pro. Now the B-Loader Pro solved the problem of lag by adding a wired connection, a hardwired Ethernet connection, so that you could get the fastest possible speed from your controller, wired or wirelessly, to your PlayStation 5 with a remote play connection. The downside to both of these was that they required a remote play connection, and that meant you had to share your sensitive PlayStation Network ID and password with a Chinese company who may have tried to use that for something that maybe you didn't want to authorize. And it was really hard to trust a company overseas. That's kind of what we've been led to believe anyway. So I don't know of anyone who has had anything happen with their PlayStation account by using these methods, but it was potentially a trust issue. And there was still the issue of if you had bad internet connectivity or you're in an apartment where you had a lot of interference, you would introduce lag. So the B-Loader team introduced this, which is the Besavior controller. Now the Besavior controller is a standard PlayStation 5 controller with the addition of this back paddle, which adds 4 back buttons to your controller for regular PlayStation 5 usage. The back paddles are amazing, and it's been my daily driver for the last year since we reviewed this controller almost a year ago. But it had one special feature, and that was this USB port right here. It allowed you to do a wired connection with any of these controllers through using your PlayStation 5 controller as the gateway to play your PlayStation 5 games, again, with any of these controllers. That was the main functionality of it. It also enabled devices such as the Corona Zen way over there, so you can continue to run your scripts and your cheats and all of that stuff, so you could pretend that you were a God mode player, even though you were just running hacks. Now, this was a good solution, and it provided the very first no remote play required connection to your PlayStation 5. So it was all local. So you did not have to send your password to a Chinese company. It was all kept within this controller. The downsides to this was you had to mod the controller. So you had to either install this or you had to buy a $200 pre-modded controller just so you could use your Xbox Elite controller, for example. And that's pretty expensive. So that takes us to today, where we have the Besavior U5 dongle. This is going to take all of the great things about the Besavior controller that you love and pack it into a handy little dongle. And today, we're gonna unbox it real quick, see what's inside, and then we're gonna plug it into this PlayStation and try connecting all these controllers real quick and just see how it works. Now, the keen observer will notice that I have two Besavior U5 dongles, and that's because when the Besavior team reached out to me and said, Anton, do you want to review this product? My first answer was, heck yeah. My second answer was, I need two because my viewers love free stuff. So in a different video, not this one, we're going to be doing a giveaway of the extra Besavior U5 dongle. Now, those of you who have been to this channel before, you know how we handle giveaways, but those of you who are new to the channel, I want to tell you so that you have a fair shot. The way we choose the winner for any giveaway that we ever do is I look at who is subscribed to the channel, and then I find the last comment on any video by a subscribed member to the channel. And that's it. So when I'm making the video, I just sit down, I pull up Gears and Tech, and I just say who commented last and is subscribed to the channel. So if you're watching this video, subscribe to the channel and make sure you come and watch our content often and leave a comment, because you might be randomly selected to win something. It might be this or it might be something else. I do have more videos for the Besavior U5 Dongle coming out, where we're going to look at latency, we're going to look at wireless connectivity. Is it possible? Besavior says no, but I think I can make it work. And really anything else you guys want to know. I want to run it through its paces and answer all the questions that you guys have. That's going to be coming up in future videos. And in one of those videos, we'll be giving this one away right here. Let's start by looking at what comes in this package. And we're going to just pop this guy open like this. So we've got a USB-C cord. This is actually going to be really handy. It's a USB-A to USB-C cord. We've got the dongle itself. Now the dongle has 3 ports on it. It has a USB port here, USB-C port here, and it has a USB-A port here. So we're gonna figure out what all these ports do. And it has a button here that I have no idea what that does. It also has this card here with a QR code on it, and I'm gonna scan this QR code right now and see what it does. I have a suspicion of what it does, and it wants to go to forum.beloader.com, and the first thing you're gonna find out is that their website is going down frequently. Now, I've reached out to the Beloader team and I've said, hey, your website keeps going down, I can't get on it. I have not heard a response back to find out what the solution is. I have got on it a few times recently, but not very many. Now, they told me before you start doing these tests, you need to update the firmware on here. So that tells me a couple things. Number one, I know that it is firmware updatable. But number two, it also means that it's gonna allow you the widest compatibility. If there's any bug fixes, they will be included in that firmware update. So I want to mention to you guys, if you are getting one of these dongles for yourself, make sure you update it before you try anything. Now, because I can't get to the website, I'm not gonna update it. We're gonna just try it with the out-of-the-box firmware. So we will look at if there's any connectivity issues. We will look at if that's resolved with a future update. The other neat thing that this adds, well, let's read the box and see what this says. So this says USB connection stable, 0 delay. So that's one of the features of this. Suitable for various USB devices. So it does require a hardwired USB connection. That shouldn't be a surprise. External power supply port. So when we're looking at this module, the USB-C port here is for an external power supply. So if you're having power dropout, you can go like this and plug this into an external power supply. I can probably plug it into a PlayStation 5 as well if I wanted to. Oh, professional forum with free macro sharing. Now this guy here also supports macros. I've never used macros on this, so I don't have a lot of experience with that. I did want to try them to see what kind of macros they have, but right now I don't have any experience with the macros. So the next thing we've got to do is plug this thing in and give it a try. So the first thing obviously we got to do is get this PlayStation hooked up. We're going to use our video capture card so you guys can see everything that we're doing here. And we'll turn that on. Now, if it's okay with you guys, I would like to save the Cronus Zen for a totally different video. There's a lot to cover on the Cronus Zen as far as connecting it up, making sure scripts are running and all of that. And that's just a little bit more than what I want to do for this video. So we're going to set the Cronus Zen to the side. So now the first thing that's happened is my PlayStation is freaked out that I didn't turn it off properly. So I'm gonna go like that. I'm not gonna update my controller. And we're gonna go into here. So now we are into the PlayStation 5, okay? Now the first thing I wanna do is get this guy all connected up. And as far as I understand, what I've got to do is plug in this like that. I don't think I need to use the dongle or the external power source. And plug that in like that. And then let me move these guys out of the way here. I think this just plugs in right here like this. And it should then say it's ready to go. I'm gonna take this cord. Like I said, I don't think that it needs to be powered up. Maybe it does. Maybe I need to go this. And I can power it off of my PC because I don't see a light on there. I try power, DualSense, turn off. Okay, now if I plug, do I need another DualSense or can this just plug into this guy? Okay, that's saying wired. So the first thing we're gonna do is pull up my settings and we're going to switch my controller. Where is it? System, don't play, no, accessories, controller, USB cable, yes. You know what I think has happened? I think this cord is not a data cord. So the first thing that we've learned here, this is the cord that came with the Besavior U5 dongle. And surprisingly, when I plug it into the controller turns on to charge. But when I go to push the button, the controller is not pairing at all. In fact, have I lost pairing? There, so you see I'm plugged in with this directly to the PlayStation 5 and it is saying that I'm wirelessly connected. It is saying that it's charging, as I can see down here, but I'm not wired connection. So if I swap this out with the cord that came with my Xbox Elite controller, like this, and then I plug this in, what you'll notice is a pop-up to say I'm now on a wired USB connection. So Besavior team, you're probably watching this video. Don't send a charge only cord with your thing. You're going to create problems right off the bat for your users who think that this cord should be able to do a wired connection. This cord is only good for powering the Besavior dongle. So you can plug it into this port right here and power the dongle, but you can't use it as the communication method from your controller or anything else. So to avoid confusion, I'm going to eliminate this completely. I'm going to put it over here. I'm not going to touch that. I know that this cable provides a wired connection as demonstrated here. And I'm going to just check, I need at least one more cord. So I'm gonna try this one just to make sure that it's good. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's good, but we'll just make sure. And I should see the USB pop up there. And there we go. So I know this one's USB communication as well. So now what I'm gonna do is unplug that. I'm gonna plug this into this guy right here, like that. And then I'm gonna plug that in like that. And it'll say again, USB connection. Excellent. So my controller is connecting through USB right now. Now what I'm gonna do is use this guy and plug it into the end. Now this is the cord that came with my Xbox controller. So it's really long and I should be able to plug this in like this. And right off the bat, I've done nothing at all, okay? So this controller still works to control my PlayStation 5, as you can see. So I'm still 100% controlling my PlayStation 5 with this guy, but I can also now use this guy to control my PlayStation 5. So when I go to a PlayStation 5 game, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, PlayStation 5 game, I press A, which would be X on my PlayStation, and I will be able to use this controller. Now I have back paddles on here. I can map these back paddles and I can still use this controller on here. Or at least I better be able to. Now it's been a while since I've played Cold War, so it's probably gonna have some updates, but whatever. Let's go to multiplayer and I'm gonna go to custom game. I don't wanna play with real people, bots and players. Okay, and we're gonna go into the map and we're gonna play capture the flag with myself. Now it's been a while since I played this, but all I'm looking for is functionality of my controllers. Look at, there's my guy. Look at him. Yeah. Got a whole team of just me. And right off the bat, so this is it. I'm playing with this controller. Now the question is this controller still active? And the answer to that question is yes. And all of the functionality is still active on that controller, but it's also active on this controller. Now I can swap, in theory, to any controller I want. So I can unplug this, and now that's disconnected. I can plug this guy in, and then as soon as it connects up, now this controller works. Now right off the bat, the analog stick on this is a little bit, whoa. So I've got my sensitivity setting really high, but there we go. That's that controller. Again, this guy is gonna work just fine. And I can, shoot around with this guy. Can reload my gun. And then I just unplug that if I want to. I've got the wrong cord for this guy, but it would work as well. Okay, I don't have a cord for this. I'm not gonna find it. I've already showed you that the two controllers that shouldn't work for it do work for it, and they work just fine. Now, the question you're gonna ask about is, does this work with mouse and keyboard? The short answer is quite simply yes, it does work with mouse and keyboard, but you need to have another adapter. So you need to have a Zim, or you need to use your Cronus Zen in mouse and keyboard setting, which we're gonna try in a different video. I just wanted to get this set up and working. So it's as simple as you connect it up just like this. One cord goes to your PlayStation 5 controller, one cord goes to whatever device you wanna connect. And then you just plug that in like that. This controller already vibrated, and if I press PS button on there, we're in action, totally in action. So this is awesome. That is how simply this works. There's no setup, there's no remote play, there's no nothing. It just connects up and it works. Now you're gonna ask yourself, what about Bluetooth? Bluetooth, we are gonna show you in a different video because this device does not support Bluetooth at all. It does not have Bluetooth on it. But I think if I connect my Cronus Zen, I can use a Bluetooth connection from my Cronus Zen or my wireless controller and get the Zen working that way. So we'll try that in a different video because this video is long enough. So what do you guys think? This is our initial review and impressions of the U5 dongle. There's more dongles coming out. They are getting ready to fill up their warehouse and to ship right away. Pre-orders are on the website, so you can start ordering these things and getting them in your hands. They will be coming out. Stock, I don't know how quickly they're stocking. The good news is, I know a lot of people complained about the Besavior stock was very, very slow. So they were pre-ordering and they weren't getting them very quickly. Part of the reason for that was the Besavior controller started as a PlayStation 5 controller that needed to be modded. If you've seen our video where we modded the controller ourselves, my install time took close to an hour for filming. Someone who knows what they're doing could probably build one of these things in 30 minutes, possibly a little faster, but it takes actual time to modify the PlayStation 5 controller. So every controller that's ordered is at least 30 minutes of man hours required to make it. That's a lot of orders to do quickly. Whereas something like this can be mass produced. They just stamp them out in an assembly line and they just pop them out. So these should fill much, much faster if you're looking at pre-ordering or if you're looking at buying existing stock. Some will ship direct from China, some will ship from their warehouse directly. But other than that, we've got lots more videos on this to test it out and run it through all its paces. I'm gonna do deep dives into each controller configuration. We'll do lag tests. We'll do everything to see how great this really is. I just wanted to get this out there to do our own testing, how good we can connect to this thing and see how good it works. Hey, thanks for watching all the way to the end of this video. We hope you enjoy the content in this video and we'd love to have you come back. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And for those subscribers who are looking for that extra special thing that you can do to support this channel, consider joining our members group. That's where we're building this community, the Gears and Tech community, where we can all enjoy content together. You'll get special perks, which we'd love for you to check out by clicking the link down below. For those of you who are just happy to watch the video, that's okay too. You can check out some of our other content right over here, where we've got some previous videos that have already been uploaded and enjoyed by many of our viewers already. We do hope to see you again. This has been Gears and Tech. Have a great day.